So let's just start with a short recap and then we'll go into the practice. So we're looking at Vipasana or Vipasana practice. Again, Vipasana is the Sanskrit word, Vipasana is the Pali word. They both mean, Vi means higher, superior, Pasana, to see. So Vipasana or Vipasana practice is higher, seeing beyond. Normally translated into English as insight, gaining insight into reality. And again, in all the Buddhist traditions, the root cause of our mental afflictions and suffering is our distorted view of reality. And so if we want to overcome mental afflictions and suffering, we need to overcome our distorted view. Meaning not just intellectually gain a correct view of reality, but to bring that correct view into experience through meditation, to come to realize nature reality directly in meditation. This will then start to overcome our fundamental ignorance and mental afflictions and suffering. And within the foundation level, what's called the Theravada vehicle, based on the Four Noble Truths teachings, the goal of the spiritual path is the goal of nirvana. It's a goal of being personal liberation from mental afflictions and suffering. And here in this level of practice, when we talk about Vipasana practice, because the Theravada traditions now are based on the original Pali scriptures, so they use the word Vipasana. There, when they talk about Vipasana practice, they're talking mainly about gaining insight into what's called the three marks of existence. Impermanence, suffering here being the translation of the word dukkha, and no self. So what we're going to begin with now is to simply do a meditation focusing on impermanence. Now, here in Vipassana practice, focusing on impermanence, we can focus more or less on anything we wish. But often, in the Theravada traditions, here they emphasize focusing within the body and mind. And we're going to do a Vipassana meditation now that is also very popular. Many of you have done, of course, a Goenka Vipassana retreat. That retreat is based on the Burmese tradition of Buddhism. And there, when they're doing Vipassana practice, then it involves focusing on the body, primarily, initially, just observing the body and observing the experience within the body, the sensations in the body, and noticing the sensations in the body, simply noticing them arising and passing, to experientially see things as changing moment by moment, to break down our instinctive false sense that there is a solid body here. So that's what we're going to do now in the meditation, is we're going to do a 20-minute meditation of simply observing the body, and I'll be guiding it. We're going to be scanning through the body in a very serial way, just observing what's going on in the body. Key with this meditation, of course, is to use what's called bare attention. Bare attention means to observe directly. So we're not making a story. So if you notice something, we're not making a story about, oh, that's rather pleasant, and that's unpleasant, and why is that there, and I wish it would go away. And so this is commentary. So we don't want to do any commentary in this practice. We simply want to observe directly those sensations, particularly this idea of impermanence, noticing them as they arise and pass. So again, if it's a pleasant sensation in the body, not to get caught up with craving and attachment. If it's unpleasant, not to get caught up in aversion. Simply observing with bare attention. So we're going to do this scanning through the body, and I'll be leading it as we go. Is there any question?
No naming either. Tingling, the tickle.
In this practice, better not, because then we get into the conceptual mind, and what we're doing here is we want to look directly in the body, the physical body, focusing, is everything impermanent or not? Just look directly. So we don't really want to do any commentary, because then we get into the conceptual mind. Okay? So let's do that practice. So as always, we begin by preparing the body. Setting the body into a state of relaxation, stillness, and vigilance. So vigilant posture is one where we keep the back nice and straight. And then allow the entire body to become completely relaxed, completely at ease. Using the out-breath to relax and release any tightness or tension in any part of the body. And relaxing more deeply with each out-breath. And allowing the breathing to settle into its natural rhythm. Not trying to control or regulate the breath in any way. And then preparing the mind, setting it in a state of ease and relaxation. Not dwelling in the past, not anticipating the future. Simply allowing the mind to come to rest in the present moment. And simply focus on the sensations of the breath throughout the body. Wherever you most easily notice any sensations associated with the breathing. So let's begin the Vipasana practice by focusing on our own body. Focusing on the reality within our own body. So we're going to scan through the body serially. So begin by bringing your attention to the crown of your head. And notice any sensations in this area. Without any commentary, with bare attention. Simply observing sensations as they arise and pass. And then move your attention to the area of your face and observe any sensations arising in the area of the face. And bringing your attention to the back of the head. Moving your attention down to the area of the neck. Observing sensations as they arise and pass. And moving across to the left shoulder. Moving down to the left upper arm. The left elbow and left forearm. Moving down to the left hand, right down to the fingertips. Observing any sensations. Moving back up to the right shoulder. The right upper arm. Down to the right elbow and right forearm. Down to the right hand. Right down to the fingertips. Moving the attention to the upper back area, the area of the shoulder blades. Observing sensations in this area. Moving down to the middle back area. Moving down to the lower back. Observing with bare attention. And then moving back up to the chest area. Moving slowly down to the diaphragm and stomach area. And then moving down to the abdomen, noticing sensations in this area. And moving to the left hip. Moving slowly down to the left thigh. To the left knee. Down to the left calf and shin. Moving slowly down to the left ankle and foot. Right down to the tips of the toes. And moving back up to the right hip. Moving down to the right thigh. To the right knee. Down to the right calf and shin. The right ankle and the right foot, right down to the toes. And now we can simply observe sensations in any part of the body. Wherever you happen to notice any sensations arising. and bring the meditation to a close. Any questions about that practice? Some of you are probably already familiar with it if you've done the Goenka Vipasana retreat.
Isn't it more of a shamatha practice?
So in the Goenka retreat, it's promoted as a 10-day Vipassana retreat. But technically that's a little bit inaccurate because the first 4 days in that retreat, you're focusing here at the nostrils. Anapanasati in Pali. So you're just focusing on the breath here. And there's a very good reason why the first 4 days, that's all you do for 10 hours a day. Because you may have noticed in that meditation that you tried to do the scan, but then you got distracted by something, you got caught up in some thoughts, not really focused so much. And so what you'll find is that we can put a lot of time and energy into doing this sort of Vipassana practice, but if our mind is not very focused, it's not going to have much effect. So therefore it's important to develop focus. And so we briefly saw in the Theravada vehicle, when we talked about the practices in general, there's those 3 core practices of ethics, concentration and wisdom. Wisdom meaning Vipassana practice. So therefore the Vipassana practice is based on concentration. So if we can really improve our concentration skills, then our mind becomes more calm, more clear, more focused. Then when we investigate, and we here in this practice we look in the body, we will see more clearly and accurately what's really going on there. And we're going to see more clearly that everything's just changing, fluxing all the time. And then experientially we're going to see that and we're going to realize that. And that will have quite a strong impact on us. But if we're not